core value that I believe means the most to me personally is providing pre-K education for every 4-year-old child who is academically at risk. I spent 10 years in public education, which gave me an unbelievable opportunity to talk with our teachers every day. And what we saw was that children who went through pre-K education programs were more successful in the classroom. So what is pre-K? Pre-kindergarten education in most instances is when we put a 4-year-old child into a classroom with a certified classroom teacher so that they begin learning the curriculum a year before most children. The problem for the school system is that pre-kindergarten is not funded by the state of Alabama. So where we have pre-K services, it's because there's some extra funds that are made available, but it's not the norm. But I believe we can do better. And that's why we established the core belief of providing pre-K education to every 4-year-old child at risk. To that end, we created a task force to study this issue, see what the national models are, and see what we can do as a community to ensure that every child has an equal playing field when it comes to public education. Shelley Jones, who's a former principal and retired principal, former chair of our Board of Education, is leading this task force, along with Ernestine Tucker, who currently serves on our Board of Education, and Stephen Black, who works with the Initiatives Program at the University of Alabama. In the past few months, this task force, along with about 20 other community members, have been studying different models of pre-K to see what we can do right here in Tuscaloosa. Every child that's reading to learn instead of learning to read by 3rd grade is more likely to graduate high school and less likely to end up in our criminal justice system. We want to be the best city in America, but to be the greatest city in this nation, we have to have an education that everyone has an opportunity to succeed. I believe that pre-K is that first great step in making that happen.
You know, anybody who looks into any kind of research about preschool and that opportunity for children, there's clear data back from even the 60s. Children graduate at a higher percent from high school. There's less teenage pregnancy for children who've been through preschool programs because it gives them a foundation.
You know, research has shown that early intervention is the key, and I think that we're laying the foundations for great citizens. You know, we're getting the boys and girls early. Early intervention is the key. We're getting them ready. You know, as someone mentioned, with No Child Left Behind, you know, kids are expected to do more and more and more. So the earlier we can intervene and get them reaching that goal to success, you know, will be the key.
Well, I think the city of Tuscaloosa, with our mayor, we are taking a bold step, one that I do not believe many other cities in the state are doing, and that is to directly fund, pre-K initiative in the city of Tuscaloosa school system. This pre-K program is going to help children to where they will be reading to learn, not learning to read, as the mayor says. It is such a true statement. The state of Alabama has a great pre-K program. The only problem there is that the funding dollars are not allocated like they should be from the state level to the city systems and county systems around the state. So our city is taking it upon itself to basically find the gap in that funding from the state level and fill it. And we've done it. We've done it this year. We look at expanding the funding for that program. There's no question that if we get to our at-risk children now, we will prevent social problems and economic problems in Tuscaloosa down the road by getting to these young kids early as their brain is developing the most.
Through our efforts, next school year, we're going to increase the number of pre-K units by 5. This means nearly 100 more children in our community will receive a quality pre-K education. In 2005, we discovered that 59% of Tuscaloosa students that were entering kindergarten were not ready. This meant they couldn't recognize their colors, couldn't have letter recognition, in some instances couldn't even sound their names. That is unacceptable, especially when the national average is 40%. But right here in our own community, there was a solution that was already being implemented by the Tuscaloosa City Schools, and that is pre-K education. Oakdale Primary and the hard work of its teachers and administrators were the pioneers in this effort. Today, Oakdale continues to be one of the leaders in this school system when it comes to reading test scores, and it's because of pre-K education. But it gets even better. The University of Alabama has dedicated nearly $500,000 worth of resources. Stillman College is donating another $100,000 worth of resources. And thanks to Congressman Davis, Tuscaloosa Ministerial Alliance, and many other community groups, we're going to have hundreds of volunteers to do vital work in our classrooms. I've got a feeling we're going to do something remarkable. And we're going to do something that will be the model across the state of Alabama. And the only thing that we have to do is believe it. And if we believe it, and we're sincere in our efforts, I really think we're going to make a difference for the children of this city. Because there are children that have yet to be born that are actually depending on us to make a difference. It's that life-changing, what we can do here. One of the things I tell our staff all the time is I am so humbled that I have the opportunity to work for the city of Tuscaloosa. And the one thing I miss about working in public education is the children. And so we have this great responsibility to children who, by no fault of their own, do not have a level playing field. And we have this opportunity to level the playing field. It's the greatest opportunity some of us in this room may ever have. It probably will be for me in my political life.